We got UNLV taking on Sam Houston. Both teams played in week 0. UNLV got a close win against Idaho State. Sam Houston coming off a loss from Western Kentucky that saw them, keep the game interesting throughout. Both teams looking to improve off of, their week 0 matchups. UNLV got a win that was ugly. They didn't really care for that type of game, I'm sure. And Sam Houston, looked impressive with Western Kentucky, high scoring offense there. Diving into this game, I think UNLV is going to have something to prove, a little more so than Sam Houston. And will it be as competitive as Idaho State was for the Rebels a week ago? Hunter Watson was doing everything for the Bearkats last week. 209 yards passing. He had another 91 yards rushing. He had a rushing touchdown. Had an interception, and really they couldn't keep up with that up-tempo offense of Western Kentucky. They had their way. 400 yards passing for Western Kentucky, along with 3 scores through the air. Will Western Kentucky be indicator of what Sam Houston might see from UNLV? I'm sure, because UNLV's definitely going to try to prove that they can get into the end zone much easier than it was last week. And they had a lot of mistakes, a lot of mental mistakes, fumbles, and PI calls that were questionable. UNLV's going to come out to make a statement and show that they aren't that team that went to the wire and 1 touchdown win against Idaho State. Getting to get our first look at both quarterbacks. Anthony Calandra was impressive, had 195 yards, touchdown. He was sharing minutes with Alex Orji, and Orji was usually meant for some QB read options, and they didn't rely on his throwing ability too much. Jaden Thomas was the guy for sure, and I think they're going to utilize him way more effectively this week. He had 147 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Calandra was using his feet effectively. He had 93 yards rushing. Orji had 34 yards rushing. He had a rushing touchdown as well late in that game. I think the key for UNLV is, can they limit the turnovers? Can they limit the mistakes? 1 for 3 on the field goals, a fumble at a crucial time in the end zone, going up to score. First game jitters for sure. Rescheduling on the week 0 game. Still, I think everyone was expecting a lot more. 24-point favorites in that game, win by a touchdown. I think Sam Houston could be trouble, but I think UNLV is going to be so motivated to prove that they aren't that team from last week that they may have a field day. And I wonder what they're going to do with the QB situation. Are they going to let Calandra get those minutes and rely on Orji maybe for some third down or end zone situations to get an easy score? The secondary was questionable. They got exploited on a lot of plays against the Bengals last week. The middle linebackers were sort of sloppy. I think they need to improve drastically. I believe the talent's there. I think the Rebels are going to set out to limit mistakes, find a rhythm, keep it going. They enter this game, 10.5-point favorites. I believe they're going to try and exceed those expectations. They may try and have that game that they were expecting a week ago. Put up 3-4 touchdowns. I think the defense can be way more improved. They're going to limit a team like Sam Houston that appears to be sort of middle of the road and in this Conference USA. I wouldn't expect this game to be that close. I think UNLV pulls away early and maintains that lead throughout. -10 seems quite doable for the Rebels against Sam Houston. Be sure to check this game out, CBS Sportsnet, 9:30 Eastern on Friday. Our last game on Friday, we got a 10:30 Eastern matchup on FS1.